got Nitai and Govinda joining us from the Australian School of Meditation and Yoga. Welcome both.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Nice to be back.
Yes, good to have you both in the studio. Both of you this evening, because we had yourself, Nitai, last time, and Govinda, nice to have you here.
Thank you. It's lovely to be here.
Okay, so if you just want to tell us a little bit about yourselves to start off.
We are basically involved with teaching a practice of meditation and wisdom that has been passed down since time immemorial, which has or when practiced properly, can have a profound effect on a person's mental, physical and spiritual well-being, and be a great source of happiness and joy in our lives.
And you've been practicing this lifestyle for how long?
I was raised in my youth with this lifestyle, and as youths do, they rebel against the family, so I sort of went off on my own wayward path for a good 25 years, and in the last couple of years I've actually got to a point in life where I went, actually I'm really missing something that I had as a kid, so I come back and decided that this is the most important thing in my life. So everything else was, while there was fun and excitement, there was just no real fulfillment, no real fullness to my life. So I decided that this was the place to be. So basically dove into actually trying to help other people come to that same sort of point of satisfaction in their life.
Okay.
Yeah.
So you do that via what, lessons, teachings?
Just helping out with centres and programs.
Yes.
And yeah.
So at the Australian School of Meditation and Yoga and elsewhere?
No, mostly just there at the moment.
At the moment.
Still sort of finding my feet and getting my head around, I guess, the best way to approach helping other people. Yeah.
And sometimes it's just as simple as, being oneself and just being present in the moment.
And being nice to people.
Yeah.
Yeah, there's not enough niceness in the world at the moment, so you be nice to people. It has a good, nice effect on their life too.
Because sometimes we think we have to do something major in life or really big, but it's just being a calm, sort of being grounded and calm, and then that can influence other people. I mean, I'm not saying we're like that all the time, but to just aim for, like you said, to just have that intention to be kind, and if there's something going on, okay, address that. And that's what people are doing, aren't they? They're being more mindful of things that the past couple of years, life's changed. So people are looking for ways to chill out and relax a bit more.
Absolutely.
Take a bit of time out.
And they can have a really nice grassroots effect if, it only takes one person to make a change happen, and that just spreads, and it's a ripple effect. So someone finds some peace and happiness and satisfaction in their life, and then it changes the relationships with the people around them. And those people may be affected, and then it changes the relationships with the people around them, and it has this beautiful ripple effect. So.
Exactly. So exactly. You just sort of visualize that, and it's incredible, isn't it? The one person, and then let's say you've got 5 immediate family members, and then they've got spouses and they've got kids.
Absolutely.
It's amazing, isn't it?
Wonderful. It makes it less overwhelming that there is hope that we can make a change, a better impact, in our world, in our society. So it's a good source of hope.
Yeah. So what are some principles, Govinda, that you put into practice daily? Is it mindfulness? Is it yoga? Is it the way you eat? So there's a lot of different things for different people. So how does that show up for you?
Definitely a variety of things, but I feel like it actually impacts and affects every aspect of my life. I try to live a balanced, healthy life, kind of staying a little bit in tune with nature more, and bringing my spiritual practices into kind of every aspect of my life. So not only do I have some time set aside each day where I sit down and I do my meditation, but also just the way I approach my life, the way I approach my job, the way, as we're talking about, treating people nicely, and just trying to use my life actually in service, not just living for myself, but understanding that if I'm serving my community, the people around me, and the Supreme, then I'll actually be the most happy. And so trying to live a life of service and look after, and that includes looking after my body. This is a temple, it's a gift, and so trying to take care of my body as best as possible. So yeah, it does really affect every aspect of my life.
That's right. So looking after your body, how do you do that? So what do you eat? What do you do?
I eat a vegetarian, whole food diet, mostly homemade where possible.
Yeah.
And trying to avoid caffeine, as I find it affects my mind and my body in not
Really?
such a good way. Stimulating and just doesn't give me such clarity that I have if I'm not on caffeine. I try and exercise regularly, practicing yoga, getting out in nature lots. I'm lucky to live near the linear park, and but just getting out and where you can see green and trees and go for a walk, and bushwalking on the weekend. I love getting in the ocean in the summer and sometimes in the winter as well. A little icy cold
do that,
swim.
do you?
Yeah, just did that last
You're
week.
one of those gutsy people.
She is.
I've seen a few of them.
She's dragged me down the path.
Really?
Yeah.
What does she push you in?
I couldn't. No, she just motivates me.
What do you say to him to get him in the cold?
I just said I'm going, and he
It's
couldn't
like,
be left
no,
behind, so
can't
he
be left
wanted
behind.
he wanted in on it. Yeah.
That's so
So,
cool. So, I mean, when you first dip your toe in, do you get that feeling? Like, is it mind over matter? Do you just dive in? You know, some people like not even the first step. Like they walk in
No.
like it's a hot bath.
I go a bit
No.
slow, and it's painful, but it's definitely mind over matter, and it's
Yeah.
quite empowering because you can go, I've conquered this. Like my body's saying no, and you're going, no, I'm gonna work through it and find a bit of calm in it.
Breathing is essential when you're in very cold water.
Slowing the breath right down, and it ends up being quite calming, don't you think?
Yeah.
You
You
mean
can basically control your nervous system. Your body's screaming out for cold to get out, but you can actually overcome that feeling by controlling your inward and outward flow of breath.
so? Are you doing the breathing before you go in and as you go in and while you're in, or you're saying the breathing while you're in and uncomfortable?
While I'm in and uncomfortable.
Yeah,
Yeah.
pretty much.
Yeah. Usually before I'm all excited. Oh my God.
I know. You're walking up thinking, what am I doing?
Yes.
I definitely am.
But doesn't it increase the metabolism or something? It's good for the skin. It tightens the skin and does all these
Yeah.
good things.
And the lymphatic system, which is so important for detoxifying our body, it helps to keep that moving and flowing better.
Really?
So yeah, I don't think it's for everyone. Certain body types, it's just not going to suit. Being in cold water is probably not going to be for them.
Yeah.
So just be aware of that. But if it feels right for your body, then it's very invigorating.
Oh, it never felt right for me until you do it.
Yeah,
It's like anything. If you want a result from something, you've actually got to do it
yes,
Yeah, that's
and
it.
persist.
that's right.
Determination.
That's right. And Govinda, you said exercising and then you said that it's yoga, but is it just yoga or is it other things like walking and jogging and I don't know, weights, gym, or is it just yoga?
I do a variety. Yeah, I do some yoga. I do some Pilates.
Nice.
I do some cardio. I do gentle walking.
Steep hill climbs.
Yeah,
We do the hikes.
Do
The
hikes, yeah.
That's good for
I
the
like
heart, isn't it?
good for the heart, yeah, and good for the brain, yeah.
Mm.
Surfing in the
Yeah?
summer, yep, bit of surfing.
That's why you like the cold water.
Yeah, I must have built up some. It was
Built
actually
up
just it was a
resistance.
friend who got me into it. She loved going swimming once a week all through winter, and I got on board with it.
So you're a full-blown surfer, as in like up there,
Well, I can stand up. I wouldn't say I'm fantastic, but I can stand up.
and yourself?
Yeah, I've
He's
been
a good
surfing
surfer.
since I was.
Oh, did you?
6
Did we
or
talk
7.
about that last time?
I'm not
I
sure.
don't know if we did.
I'm not
I don't
sure,
think
no.
we did. So you're a surfer,
Yeah,
right? That's
and
good.
I'm living in Adelaide.
There's not a lot of surf here.
Because it's important the opportunity that I have here to serve and help with the meditation programs and the sharing this information with other people. So that to me is more important than just being able to go, okay, there's surf just down the road. I can go for surf every day. So you got to figure out what's really important.
Yeah.
So
Your
to me, that's what's
priorities.
important. My priorities.
What is it about surfing that is so amazing? Surfers say that it's just amazing. It's something they can't even explain.
It's almost like you're communing with nature, because you have this natural force and energy that comes in out of the deep ocean, and with varying degrees of velocity and voraciousness. I'm still suffering from the last big surf.
When was that?
A year ago?
A year ago?
Really?
A bit more than a year ago. Yeah.
Why? What happened?
I sustained a neck injury
did you?
falling from the top of the wave to the bottom of the wave. When you fall from a height onto
So it's
water,
really dangerous too.
It can be really dangerous, yeah.
What? How high was the wave?
It was probably 6 feet,
Right.
but just having that funny angle and the moving water.
Yeah.
Yeah,
So you haven't gone back in?
I have.
I mean, to
Yeah.
to that degree.
Yeah, I have.
Oh, okay.
It just took a while to heal and get my strength back, where I wasn't actually
Yeah.
suffering pins and needles every time I lay on a board.
Gee whiz.
Yes.
All right. Can we, before we continue on, can we just have a little mantra? I know we were sort of warming up before we started the show, and it was just so nice. We did a little sound check. You did about 30 seconds of each one, and they're just so lovely. What was the first one? Nitai Goranga?
Goranga.
And the second one?
Om Hari Om.
So
We're going to go with Om Hari Om
okay,
first.
sure.
Govinda has the guitar.
Can you just give us a little summary of what this is and what the mantra says and what's the benefit of it?
Sure. So, like many people think of meditation as just sitting down, being still, making the mind blank, not thinking about anything. And the very nature of the mind is to be active, just as the very nature of water is to be wet. Our mind will always be thinking of something, we can't make it blank. So then it's like, well, what are we going to place our mind on? What are we going to think about in our meditation? Are we just going to let our mind wander on all our to-do lists or and be fighting with it? So the wonderful thing about mantra meditation is you actually have a sound, a spiritual sound, that you focus your mind on. And the yoga teachings that we follow, that we're actually a spiritual being inside. We have this body that we're using like a vehicle, but inside we're a spiritual being, and we need spiritual food and nourishment to find peace and satisfaction. So these mantras are a spiritual sound. And so when we rest our heart and focus our mind and meditate on these sounds, not only is it very relaxing and calming, it also is like food for the soul. So it's a really easy and really joyful way to meditate. You know, we all love music, and so being able to immerse ourselves in sound and music and meditating on that makes it so much easier. It makes it so accessible for everyone. Children can do it. People of any backgrounds can do it. So it's a great way to meditate.
Beautiful. Thank you.
I'll use the mantra Om Hari Om. You're welcome to sing along. Hari
studio from the Australian School of Meditation and Yoga in North Adelaide in Chapel Street. Beautiful centre offering meditation, yoga, and lots more. So you've got workshops there. You've got do they still do the Sunday, or was it the Friday get together with food and snacks?
Yeah, we're doing Friday once a month now at the moment.
Yes.
With food
With food.
every
Yeah.
Friday
Nice.
without food.
Yes. Yeah. So once a month we have a curry and vegan curry and in this beautiful March meditation like we were just doing.
Stunning. And just once again, Om Hari Om means
They're sound representation of the Supreme Being. Yeah.
Who's the Supreme Being?
We liked different people call them of different names, God, Krishna. So the source, the creator. Yeah.
Beautiful. So good. Okay. Now, just before we continue on, some little, we said we'd talk about brekkie, lunch and dinner. Like, what's a good sort of thing to eat?
I like to start my day with a savoury oats.
Savoury?
Savoury, yeah.
What do you put in it?
Ginger.
And
Right.
turmeric.
Ginger and turmeric.
The salt?
Bit of salt, yeah.
In oats?
In oats, yes.
Is that right?
Well, ginger is considered the king of the spices. It's a great detox, it's a great anti-inflammatory. So I like to start my day with a good hit of ginger, chase it down with the honey, lemon and ginger tea.
Really?
Yeah.
What do you put, like, what else do you put with it to make it like a salty, savoury thing? Do you put a bit of fat in it, like, I don't know, oil or something?
Ghee.
Ghee.
Ghee, I like to use a bit of ghee.
Which is like a clarified
Nice.
butter.
Yeah.
And a bit of yogurt on top.
And a bit of yogurt on top.
Yeah.
Beautiful.
Something very
Garnish
different.
with some herbs and
Yeah.
you're good to go.
Do you like cumin as a herb, as a powdered thing?
Absolutely.
Yeah, it's nice, isn't it? It's very
Yeah.
earthy and
Yeah.
satisfying,
Yeah.
especially in the winter. I'm finding
Very good for digestion too. Warming. Hey?
Yeah.
Mm.
nice.
Yeah. And then I'll do like so I don't eat eggs, so I do like
Yeah.
a scrambled tofu and vegetables.
Mm.
Really easy way to do it is just grate some tofu on a grater and grate
Oh,
some
you
zucchini.
grate it?
I grate it. It's just really easy way to get it nice and fine. Grate the tofu, grate the zucchini and some carrots, and put it in a pan and saute it with a bit of spices, a little bit of fat, and some maybe a bit of fresh herbs, and that makes a lovely breakfast too.
Because you need the fat to transport the herbs and vitamins and minerals, don't you? 'Cause
Yeah.
Some people say fat free, no fat, but that's
Especially,
not good, is it?
especially turmeric. Turmeric is fat soluble, which most people don't know. You actually need some fat to absorb the turmeric into your body.
And turmeric is also very anti-inflammatory.
Yeah.
Mm.
With the pepper.
Yes.
With
yes.
the black pepper.
That's right, with the black
Everything's got to
pepper.
have black pepper.
Nice. But I'm gonna try that tofu. I'm like, yum.
Yeah. It's got a great texture.
What about lunch?
I wrote some things down here. Have a little list.
Pumpkin soup's nice, like a hot soup.
I usually
warming
do
soup.
a hot soup for dinner. I do.
Oh, that's a dinner thing, is it?
Yeah,
Yeah.
pumpkin soup or a potato and leek soup. I put a bit of fennel in my potato and leek, gives it a little bit more
Fresh fennel.
fresh fennel.
Mm,
Yeah,
nice.
the fennel bulb. Just slice that
You
up.
got that in the garden.
No, we get it from the
No,
market.
yeah.
Yeah.
Which market?
The where we live near Marden has a little farmers market there every
Okay.
Saturday morning, and they have really good, affordable produce.
Yeah.
Nice.
Yeah, I think they get all the seconds, so you feel like you're helping to get rid of
Yeah.
food waste,
Mm.
and you pay less. So.
Good.
But
Still good food though.
yeah, it's good food. I love quinoa.
Oh,
Yeah.
nice.
So a really simple, healthy lunch is a bowl of quinoa with some steamed vegetables on top, and then a lovely. I make like an Ayurvedic, kind of the traditional medicine of India, like a salad dressing, an Ayurvedic salad dressing made with some spices like turmeric, cumin, coriander,
Yeah.
fennel, and a little bit of cardamom.
Mm.
Makes a lovely mix, mixed with some olive oil or ghee or something, a little bit of lemon juice and salt and pepper, and you pour that over the bowl of quinoa and steamed vegetables, and it makes a very nurturing, warming, nourishing, easy to digest lunch.
What sort of veggies?
I usually go for like green beans, broccoli, carrot, zucchini, cauliflower.
Do you like potatoes?
I do like potatoes, yeah.
They're very satiating and satisfying, isn't it? Root veggies, yeah, and in
Yes.
moderation, you know, sweet
Yeah.
potato, white potato.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah, and the purple
Absolutely.
sweet potato.
Purple sweet potato. I don't think I've tried that.
Purple skin, white on the inside,
Mm.
but it's got a very
They're much easier to digest.
Really?
They have,
To have a look at that.
different starch content and different vitamin sort of trace elements.
And anything else before we move on? Any other
Well, you've
meals?
got your potato and leeks fennel soup for dinner, and something we made.
Leeks good.
Yeah, leeks good.
Yeah.
Tonight we made a really lovely healthy dinner of like a rice, just a simple. We used a Masuri rice, which is a really light rice that I'm just recently discovering, and I served it with some roasted vegetables, carrot, broccoli, and cauliflower, and with homemade beetroot hummus. And a little bit of a salad on the side. So that was really lovely and warming and nourishing.
Do you both get involved in that? You both?
Yeah.
It's enjoyable preparing your food, isn't it? A lot of people say that when you actually see the food, you're preparing it, you're sort of getting your digestive enzymes ready too, because you're handling food, you're cutting it, you're chopping it.
All part of the process.
We have the added benefit of having the infancy of a very nice veggie garden. So there's picked a few of the greens come out of the veggie garden.
That's the best, isn't it?
Yeah, kind of a herb garden.
You got the herbs too. Yeah. What do you got?
Coriander, parsley. We've got some celery, spinach, lettuce, rocket.
Something that I thought was rocket, but turned out to be like a wasabi green or something very spicy.
So you're not sharing it with anyone, like as in what I mean is that we've got a veggie patch and we're sharing it with a family of rats. As in, my husband's not happy.
We were sharing it with slugs.
We had slugs and we had caterpillars. The rats haven't got us, no.
Yeah, and I said, there's no way we're killing the rats. I'm just putting it out there now. And he said, well, all the work I've done. I said, yeah, I know, but you just can't do it. He said that we haven't had a lot of produce, so I just can't bring myself to do it. It's a living thing. You just can't.
Yeah, I know. You can build some barriers, maybe. So
we've tried everything. We've tried the capture cages, which he found one baby rat and he collected it and released it.
Yep.
But then the rat family is so smart that they'll see that rat captured and then they won't go near that cage anymore. So we've tried all these different things, all like natural ways, so we don't harm them.
Yeah.
Have you tried raised garden beds?
Sorry?
Raised garden beds?
Oh yeah, we've got that. We've done everything. He's done everything for months and months and months.
There's some hungry rats.
He's really frustrated, and they're breeding because they've got some good food there. And he said this can be really bad. We've got these good hearts to not kill, but he said, well, what if they get in our roof? And his mind's going everywhere. Because you don't want a rat plague.
Maybe you have to pause the veggie garden for a year and they might move on.
That's what I said. I said, just let it be. Let it be.
Yeah.
It's all good.
Do some really good composting.
Yeah,
prepare the bed for next season and hope.
But we did that a year and a half ago because we had rats. So he moved all the veggie patch to his parents' house. Yeah, so it's something with us and the veggie patch isn't working.
And the rats.
It's a cursed patch.
Yeah, it's a cursed patch. But not for the rats, I love it. Yeah. Anyway, that's a sign. Divert.
The joys of gardening.
Yeah. But apparently they're very intelligent. I know a lady who sort of has rats, and she told me she's got different rats. One eats broad beans, one eats tiny teddies. They've all got their blankets. She's got a few rats. And she sent me photos of them with their little hands and their cute little fingernails and their whiskers and their eyes. And I showed my husband. He goes, oh, why are you showing me this?
He wasn't impressed.
Because I thought maybe he'd just put something else there to get rid of them and not tell me. And I said, here, look, aren't they beautiful? They're so intelligent. And he's like, oh, what'd you do that for? But they are. We think they're vermin and we think they're dirty and this and that, but they're so intelligent.
This is a sign of
anything
life.
Living.
Anything living. It's all the same life essence. It's all life is the same.
Even ants, to watch ants, how they act. Or if there's one dead ant, they all go around it.
Absolutely. It just shows how, we've all got this living spark inside that is, always surviving and, working together as communities and all these things. I mean, if you kind of break it down, we all have the same kind of intrinsic, nature. And
it's true.
We just have these different bodies on the outside that and it's a nice way to think of, about compassion and what you're eating, eating a more compassionate diet. Because when you start realizing we're all the same on the inside. It's a lovely
that's
way to look at it.
way you explained it. It is a bit sad how we do put living beings in categories, don't we? Like, someone said, oh, don't feed the pigeons, they're like vermin, they're like rats, don't feed the pigeons, but feed the pretty white dove. But they've still got a heart, they've still got a, they still work in community. I really don't get it how we do that. Or we have dogs, but we eat cattle, we eat cows and we eat sheep, but they're so intelligent.
Yes.
And the same with people. You put labels on people. We're not these labels, whereas you label people, you separate them. And you become separate parts of what could be a global community. But because of the influence of other people on our minds, that's where it comes from, an idea in our mind. So by meditation we can actually begin to control those ideas and separate ourselves from those ideas and get a much clearer picture of the way things are and the way things could and should be.
Nice, getting to that stillness.
Yeah.
The clarity.
A bit more clarity, seeing things a bit more clarity with a bit more mindfulness and awareness of actually we are all living creatures and we are all basically the same in essence.
Yeah.
We just have different ideas and different labels. Yeah, not our labels though.
Okay, now can we go out with our last mantra?
Absolutely.
I'll say thank you both for coming in.
You're most welcome.
Thank
Thank
you.
you for having
It
us.
was very nice, very nice. So this last mantra is?
And this last mantra is Nitai Goranga.
What does that mean? What's your name, Nitai?
Nitai, yes.
He's not singing his own name, just by the way.
No.
Yeah.
My name is Nitai Das, and Das means the servant of Nitai, who was a great saintly person in our spiritual lineage who taught this mantra meditation about 500 years ago as the prime method for self-realization and for happiness in this current time of quarrel, chaos and confusion.
Thank you very much.
This is a beautiful mantra. Peace, love and joy.
Nitai Goranga, 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 I was handed this on the way there.
So if you want to say goodbye here.
Bye. Thank you so
Yeah.
much for joining us. If you
Namaste.
like any more of that chanting, please come and join us in North Adelaide at the Australian School of Meditation and Yoga. Most welcome anytime.